Greetings and good afternoon and welcome back to my channel. I'm really glad you're here today. I usually talk about jazz and jazz records and vinyl and all that good kind of stuff. But today I want to make a video about a jazz, or really just a vinyl accessory. Today we're going to talk about cleaning machines. I've owned several different cleaning machines, starting out with the VPI 16.5. That machine is built like a tank. It doesn't look pretty. It moves rather slowly. It also has a full-size platter, so when you clean one side and flip it over, you're getting the first side dirty again while you're cleaning the second side. It's kind of like a cat chasing his tail. But except for that and the fact that the tubes tend to break if they're not perfectly calibrated, that's a really great machine and will last forever. I know we've had one at the Jazz Record Center where I work on Saturdays. We've had one there, the same one, for at least 30 years. This is at a record store. And the tube started breaking, then Matt Weisfield at VPI supplied Fred Cohn at the Jazz Record Center with one of these stronger tubes, and it's been fine ever since. But because it's kind of slow and clunky, let me say that I've also received expert, fantastic customer service from VPI in the past when I owned the VPI machine. I remember I sent it back in because it was had some sort of problems. This is before I wrote for Stereophile, and they fixed it and sent it back free of charge. That's when Sheila was still alive, Sheila Weisfeld, Matt's mother. So, you know, fantastic American company. I absolutely have one of their turntables, which I love. I write for Stereophile, so I write about turntables and other stuff. Okay, the VPI, a good machine. I think it's around $475, I think. Or is it $675? Maybe so. But I went after that to the Pro-Ject VSC ALU, which I think those are the correct suffix numbers, because it's faster, stronger suction. The platter that the records spin on is the size of a record label. So you clean one side, flip it over, you're not getting it dirty again. And they have excellent customer support. Now I am on my third machine. It costs $500. There's also a slightly cheaper one, I think, but this one runs in reverse, and it dries, obviously. It's like the VPI, yet it's made out of aluminum. So it will, in the long run, hopefully last a lot longer. It's a sturdier machine. The vacuum tube is also made out of aluminum. You can buy the lips for the VPI machine off of Amazon for next to nothing. But the first one I had, I think the vacuum just went out, it stopped. The second one got incredibly loud. I don't know why. I opened it up and looked into it. I couldn't quite figure it out, but it was really loud, but they just sent me a new machine. Now, about 4 years ago, I dipped my toes into the ultrasonic world, and I made my own ultrasonic cleaner out of a big, you know, one of those pots or vacuum tubs you can buy. And I bought the filter and the peg with the things so you can put clean 5 records at a time, and it worked fantastic. It was great, but it was really messy and sloppy and took up a lot of space. So I paid the accommodation price of $2,500, $4,000 list for this Audiodesk system glass cleaner, ultrasonic cleaner, which is an amazing machine. It doesn't get off things like smudges and dirt and grime. It goes deep into the grooves of the record and basically removes dirt that was probably there, or grunge or crap from when it was first made in the factory, the record. And using that exploding bubbles technology, you can really hear very deeply into records. They're particularly good to use on really old records from the 50s and 60s and sometimes the 70s. So I would always use the vacuum machine first to get off surface dirt and smudges and that grime and fingerprints, then run it through there, and the results were amazing. If you already have a very clean record that has scratches on it, though, the vacuum cleaning technology can make it actually worse because it exposes everything around that scratch and makes it almost louder. Even though, as I said, a vacuum machine removes, an ultrasonic machine removes this background haze or noise that you did not even know was there. So I've had this a little over 4 years. I paid $2,500 for it, accommodation price. I would write about it in Stereophile. It appears in every one of my associated components list, but it just suddenly died last week. The way it works is you turn it on, and when you hit this button, a pump brings up the water level and soaks the record. Well, the pump stopped working, so the record just sat there spinning in the air. So I emailed. It took me quite a few emails to get someone at Ultra Systems, a US distributor, to respond. They basically said, no, it's a sealed box. We don't fix it. And this is bound to happen because there are components submerge in water, and that's a good point. But it's problematic. You can't, this is sealed, you can't get into it and like say, send it to me and I'll replace it myself. They gave me an option, like a trade-in amount to apply towards their new machine. Well, in today's modern world of ultrasonic cleaners, that's just a really stupid thing to do. You can get a Humminguru for about 500 bucks, a Degritter, which I think is probably the best ultrasonic machine on the market, I think for 3,500 bucks. And there's also a new one called Lucid Wave on Kickstarter for 150 bucks. But from everything I've read, that is a really shady deal. It looks just like something called Vinyl Sonic or something that was a Kickstarter ultrasonic that took off with all the money. So I'm probably, along with my brand new Pro-Ject VSC ALU vacuum machine, I'm probably going to buy a Humminguru. A friend of mine has one, Miguel Barrio, who loves it, and he does a two-stage thing as well. But at 500 bucks, you could save your cash and have a couple, even though they only clean one record at a time. It has a drying thing, which is really great. That's a great thing about this. When this came out, you could put together your own ultrasonic machine, but none of them, they would not dry the record, which is one of the great things. You dry it, pull it out, and you got a brand new looking record. But I'm not going to invest more money in this now obsolete German technology, and I'm going to buy a Humminguru. That's my 5 cents today. That's my rant. Have a great day, folks.